For some reason, the camera just isn't working very well. Um, it's like freezing cold out here in the garage. I have the heater going, and we're just gonna start testing Christmas lights. This needs to get done sometime, and I don't know when I plan on getting this done. It's already after Thanksgiving, and this is when I typically start with getting the stuff set up for outside. Now, last year I got to the point where I did the first thing, which was the most important thing, which is testing the inflatable snowman. And it didn't really work very well. I put it up and it fell down in like 6 different windstorms and just wouldn't stay working. I couldn't have them in the center of the yard like how I normally would. And that just didn't work. So that kind of put me off at a bad mood, and I didn't really feel like dealing with dragging extension cords and stuff all over the front yard. But now, I got a new one. We're going to see how that works. But before I get started, I want to show some interesting finds off that I got, or at least just a singular find. And it's these. These are C7 Christmas lights from Ollie's, and a pack of these is only $5 a piece. It's 25 bulbs, and it's a bit long for my liking, because I like these sets to be a bit shorter, because I like to use these in like a lot of smaller indoor locations and stuff. But I searched for like so many different stores, and I couldn't find incandescent Christmas lights. So out of all the places that had them, Ollie's just so happened to have some. Meisner also happened to have some, but for also a 25 set box, and those ones weren't the ceramic ones, go figure. Those were like $15 for a pack of 25. So I would have gotten ripped off if I went with Meisner. So I'm happy that I went to Ollie's first, and that was a Black Friday deal. Well, I went there Black Friday shopping at like 5 in the morning, and bought we found some really good deals on a lot of Christmas gifts, but that was one of the things that just didn't have any sort of deals on, but I had to get it because it's something I needed. So we'll test some of these Christmas lights here. I'm going to start off first with these icicle lights, these LED icicle lights. I don't remember where these came from or what I used them for. I think these, I may have had these stringing along over the front door. So I'm going to see if they work for that. And they're just all sorts of tangled. And it's hard to do things in these gloves, but it's so cold. It's only 40 outside, but it's just really cold here in the garage. Actually, we're taking the gloves off to do this. I need total control. Now, before I mess with these, I should just see if things work. So I'm not using them if they don't work. Since these are LEDs, if I see a single bulb out, or a few, it's going in the garbage immediately. Now, something that's interesting is it has... No, that's just a fuse in there, never mind. Had a little baggie on there, but all it shows is the fuse. Yeah, this set works. It flickers really bad, so definitely not an indoor set. I've said this before, these LED Christmas lights, they suck. They're unusable for me just because of how bad they flicker. Now, the incandescent ones that I got, I was going to use them inside, but they're kind of too long, and a lot of the places where I want to use them, I'm not sure. We're going to try it and see if I can use those in the kitchen, because the set I have in the kitchen, there's like things going on. I need that set somewhere else. But I might have to end up with like shortening those. So I might get a hold of someone else and see about getting those shortened. These are just a pain. pull this out, have these all over the place, and then like, okay, now it's making a fool out of me. It's just working the way it's supposed to. They're somewhat untangled. By the time I get them up and start using them, they'll work a bit better. We have the red and white lights I got 3 years ago at the thrifts. These are the ones that go around the railing. Just so happen to be tangled too. See how these ones work. These are LEDs, so they should, in theory, work, but knowing LEDs, who knows? Yep, they're working. I call these peppermint lights because they look like peppermint. They also flicker really bad, so I can't use them inside. I bought these with the intent of using them inside, but I couldn't, so, because I thought these would be a cool light strand for the living room to just have somewhere, because I like the colors of them, but I can't when they act like this. And then I just happen to have this string here, which I had. This is 2 different strings. One of them is a little short Dollar Tree string, and then after that, I think it is a somewhat longer string, and these are incandescent minuet lights. I have to be careful to not step on them. These, I think, were actually what I had going over the doorway, because I had one set wrapping around a bush, and I believe this was the set. And these were ones the one set here, the longer set, I got at a thrift store. The shorter set, I probably also got at a thrift store or somewhere else. So let's see if these work. They do not work. Well, let's check our fuse. Just to double check, so this LED set did work. Make sure if this cord is still working or something stupid didn't happen. Yeah, those still work. So this one's fuse is probably bad. Since the other strand isn't working, and I'm going to pull this all the way back to where the other strand is, and then I'm going to plug this strand in and see if this one works. This one probably might work. If this one also doesn't work, it might be a bulb issue. Yeah, this one's not working. Open this up and see what our fuse looks like. I would say that fuse is a bit blown. I don't know what I was running. I don't know why the fuse on these blew. And I can only imagine that the other one just so happens to have a blown fuse as well. Somehow the LED sets seem to be working, and then the incandescent sets just don't work. Yeah, this fuse is blown as well. So 2 sets with blown fuses. That's very strange. Thankfully I have a bag of Christmas lights over here, and then I have the C7 sets, which I didn't really want to use. I was going to use this as a spare if nothing worked. I have another set, but while we're waiting, I have the inflatable penguin that I've had since 2017. We'll see if this works. I'm not sure. It's made by the Gemma, so it probably won't work. But there's one way to find out, and that's just plugging it in and seeing what the thing does. It's inflating, so I'm just going to sit it back here so it's on camera view. And then I have a bag of Christmas lights back here, my weed eaters covering it. And these are ones my friend found on the side of the road. There's another set he found. It's in the shed, and they smell like cat urine. I don't know why they smell like cat urine. They just do. And the bag's like ripped up and shit. Yeah, the inflatable penguin works. Inflates quite quickly. The new snowman I have, it's a 7-foot inflatable snowman, but they used just the cheapest possible fan motor. So the thing's like extremely undersized. There's leaves in here. Okay, let's see what's going on. We have one set of lights here. They look pretty tangled. And then here's the Penguino. I got to replace the stupid LED light inside. I bought replacements, and they should be over at my mom's house. And I know the proper way to deflate these things quickly is by undoing the zipper in the bottom of them, but I don't have time for that. Actually, maybe I do. Yo, this set actually works. Got some duct tape on here. Well, I guess we're not going to use multicolored lights out front because these incandescent minuet lights, this set works. It looks like they're not that bad tangled up. Like, they're not that bad. I'll put it over here on those LEDs. And then there's a few more sets. This actually might just be another singular set here. And this one's actually quite tangled. There is 2 sets in here. We'll plug in, we'll find the other set and then plug it into the outlet and see if that works. Now it might be try this outlet. Yeah, the set is almost working. There's a few out, so I'll probably get around to repairing those. These ones don't smell like cat urine, so these I might actually be brought inside to work on where it's warm. And the ones that smell like cat urine are not the ones that are going on the display. I mean, not going inside, obviously. I already am good with my stuff I have inside. Something just went flying. I don't know if that was a bulb. And then there's another set. And it's like it's a C7 set, but it has these round bulbs on it. And I just got these today. These were on a tree in my neighbor's front yard. I don't know how long they've been there for, and I broke one of the bulbs. So I'm going to actually, I have a ceramic C9. You can't see what I'm doing because this is all off camera. I want to test these out. There's probably a good bit of bulbs on here that don't work, but have a little uh-oh. So I'm going to get the gloves on. We're going to stay glove on and remove this. I'm using the gloves, so. Well, what I might just do is get a use this. Off and in the trash. I'm kicking stuff around everywhere. Screw in this one ceramic bulb. I'm gonna probably use these with mixed match bulbs because I can only imagine how many of these don't work. And let's plug this in. This is probably the first time these have been used in over 3 years. Ah. I only see a total of 3 bulbs. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only a total of 5, now 6. There's a total of 6 bulbs that are out. I have a bit of replacements. Every time I see the C7 bulbs or anything with this base that is colored, I've been kind of snatching them up if they surface at the shops. And then I'll probably, if I can find any of these online, I'm going to start buying a whole bunch of them. So this set here, once I go through this and replace some bulbs, this set will probably get put to use on like a bush or something. That's all I got to say. And then last thing I want to show is I got a new inflatable snowman, which I mentioned before, and this thing's just it's kind of bad compared to the old one. The old one had a blower fan with the AC permanent split capacitor motor on it, and it was pretty nice until just like the fabric started thinning out from being like 30 years old. But the other one that I got now has a DC 12-volt fan, just like the Penguin. And I think it's the same size as this one. No, it's a bit bigger. But still, it has a hard time, and it struggles to inflate it and actually keep it inflated. So we'll bring that down, and this is going to be most likely the first thing that I put out on the display. Here's the extension cord I'm going to use it with. I would use an extension cord with a splitter and run some spiral trees with it, but I don't have those anymore. Oops. But I'll show the fan. The fan is like an inch bigger than the one on the Penguin. Small little 12-volt DC fan. And this thing should really have something a lot bigger in it. It has a moment before you plug it in, before the lights and the fan kick on. So I think the AC-DC adapter just kind of charges up a little bit. The 7-footer, which is a stretch for something with a fan this small, which is kind of insane. Well, this is attempting to inflate. I'm getting the box. The box is extremely simplistic. It pretty much just shows a picture of it, says what it is, and then it has a list of features on the side, and then specifications and assembly instructions on the other side. And then the owner's manual, it pretty much says the same stuff it says on the box, with the exception of the feature list. And see, the one for the other snowman was a bit better. And I don't know how long these LEDs are going to last, or literally the inflatable itself. This has a much more harder plastic to it than the other one. And like the fan on it's so underpowered, it takes literally a absolute eternity just to inflate. Now the fan's really starting to struggle. It has a hard time like inflating the little small parts like the buttons in the nose. Actually inflated the nose pretty well this time. And a minor issue I have with it is that the scarf is off color. But it just kind of works because we don't get snow early enough to build a snowman, and building an actual snowman is a literal pain in the butt. So, kind of thankful that we have these things that we could use. I also have the Gazer light, but I don't think I'm going to use this year. If I do decide to go out and use the splitter and put the Penguin and stuff out, I'm going to use the Gazer light. And Just so happens that the only splitter I have is this crazy yellowed out one. Well, actually, no, I don't. I have this thing, which I found in a ditch on the side of the road. So I could use this, and definitely a bit more weather tight than this. I'm gonna put this in a plastic bag and kind of enclose it, keep it all together, so it doesn't do anything stupid. I'm going to use this extension cord here, which is a 15-foot extension cord. And this is going to go from the lamp timer. It's a photoelectric lamp timer that's by my house. That I use for Halloween stuff. I'm going to plug one end to that, into that, and then the other end is going to go out into the yard where it's going to go on a splitter, where it's going to be plugged into the snowman, the Penguino, and then the geyser light. I would say as of right now, since it's the easiest, because I don't want to deal with putting up the lights, I'm going to set up the shit in the yard, and I'll probably just put the peppermint LED lights up. It's getting really dark out there, and I would also put a window candle. I'm also going to try to source a candelier or window candle for the window here in the garage, looking out that way. And I just remembered I have to bring my radio out, because when I did the interference video, just a few days ago, I think 3 or 4, maybe even 6 days ago, I was using that. So that's all I gotta say. I know my face wasn't in the video, but just wanted to go through all the heck I have to go through getting this stuff set up each year. It's a pain. It's not fun, like how some people might say it is. And the next video you hopefully will see is this stuff set up. So I'm not sure if I'm going to film myself setting up all this stuff. So, thank you very much for watching, and keep the breeze.